Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Giving all praise to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Kadash. The honors to the apostles and others who do well. Peace and many salutations to y'all that's toiling in His truth. I wanted to come with a quick sit down. Going into the reason why, Nate, Bishop Nate, changes his doctrine so much. And it's a very simple reason. The reason why is because he's trying to, accumulate as much people as possible. In order for you to do that, you have to uh, tell the masses what they want to hear. Because Israel, they don't want to hear about prophecy. They want to hear about, nice things that's pleasing to the ear. As it says in Isaiah, preach unto us smooth things. Okay, things that they esteem to acquire here, like money, a wife, things of that nature. This is what people want to talk about. This is what they want to hear. They don't want to hear about destruction, and that's what's coming to this place. It's going to get very, very serious out here. And a lot of people, because they prefer to lie, what I'm saying, they're going to be destroyed. A sad truth is better than a merry lie. And a lot of our people, they fall after these pastors, they have told them nothing but lies and damnable heresies of the scriptures. And we see that going on even in the nation of Israel. Okay? And these pastors, they're getting fed, they're getting paid. Just like guys like Nate, he's getting paid, man. He just had a fundraiser and seeing how much he was able to raise in a minute, over $3,000. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these guys are gonna be judged by Yahweh by Shemel Shai, man. Now this is 2 Peter 2:1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, right? So that word privily, let's look that up, which means, very subtilely, subtly bring in, um, wickedness, man. And this is what Nate has done throughout the years, right? What's this word?
Strong's G 3919. Paraisago. Paraisago.
That's that word, privily. Says to lead in a side. What they lead these people into? They lead them into wickedness, man. Introducing Israel to hell. Western concepts of marriage. Forcing the congregation to change their names. You know what I'm saying? Dictating the congregation's marriages. All those things, you could guide, but you don't dictate those things. We do those things, those type of things. We want to control the masses, right? Or when you want to sell up a brand, and what they're selling the middle the middle age family, package type of deal with a Israelite Christian twist. It's a very appealing to so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, but they're leading the congregation to wickedness, man. Right? Introduce Sarah, surreptitiously bring in, right, in the secret sense of heretics. You see that? So they're bringing in wickedness, man. And it's very appealing to the flesh. Very appealing to the flesh because his flesh wants to chill, right? His flesh wants to flourish on this side. So, in order for you to sell to the masses, what are you going to tell them? Well, everything's going to be fine. We're going to flourish together under, Black Jesus, under my rulership. Talk about old Nate, and we're gonna build on this side, and everything's gonna be fine if we just keep the law, statutes, commandments. Which that's not true. We're ultimately we're gonna have to, all of us individually are gonna have to depend on our faith, because the agitation is gonna come to where we're going to have to all individually have to make a choice whether or not we want to be a part of this world or follow Yahweh Shai. And um, that comes with understanding what the MOTB is, what all that embodies, because there's a whole nother way of living that's coming that embodies AI and the human body. Let's call it biometrics. We're all going to be introduced to it very soon. Okay. And it's nothing for them to uh, tear down what you have built. It's easy work. All right. So what's individual is going to have is faith. That's what the elect is going to have, faith. You know what I'm saying? But if you're trying to get cash, guess what? You're gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna lie. You're gonna finagle. And, try to, you know, put your sprinkle on everything. All right, to make it more palatable for the masses. Okay, it says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily, we just looked that word up, shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them and bring upon themselves swift destruction. And many shall follow their pernicious ways. I believe pernicious means, um, I believe it means like poisonous in a sense, right? Or let's look it up. Let's look it up. Um, that word pernicious. Um,
Strong's G 684. Apolia. Apolia.
Apolia means destroying, utter destruction. I'm just gonna double check to see if that's the word. I'm curious. Let's see. Yep, that's it. Uh, yeah, that's it. Apolia, the destroying, utter destruction of vessels of perishing, ruin, destruction of money. You see that? So they're leading the congregation to destruction by way of that pursuit of money, man. They get especially if add it with this truth, you know, you know, And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So the the ways, of IUIC, the the truth is indeed spoken evil of, because they planted it as a black, so-called black power movement. This is not a black power movement. This is an Israelite movement, right? We profess that so-called Latinos, Native Americans, and Negroes are all part of the Israelite community, or the Israelite family. It's not a skin color thing, right? But by them saying that, yeah, we're black Hebrew Israelites, right? Painting the Million Man, the Black Million Man March with the Hebrew Israelite twist, linking up with NOI, right? The truth is being evil spoken of, right? They're doing this to make money. Verse 3. And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. Right? So with these feigned words, they're making merchandise of the congregation. We could use our imagination what merchandise is, right? They're cashing out on the congregation, right? And because of this, their the judgment is going to soon be seen. We're coming into that time. So it's going to be a clamp down on this truth. It's not going to be cool to be a Hebrew Israelite anymore. It's going to be very difficult. Okay, it's going to be very difficult. Very. Okay, and what you lean on and what you depend on, and who you depend on, is going to be seen. Uh, all of us individually speaking, right? But we clearly see with these guys what they depending on, alluding to IUIC, the depending on that money, that paper, okay, is not going to save them in a time of wrath. Now, this is Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Right? So riches profit not in the day of wrath. Right? That money that you have is not going to save you. Man, you can have 100K. You can be looking for 100K cash. That's not going to save you in the time to come. Right? That cash money that you have, if they say, hey, everything's going digital, in order for you to get this, um, cash that you have to convert it to this digital currency. Right? Okay, it's on your phone. You have a digital ID. It's on your phone, right? You have an app. Okay. Wanted to take it a step forward and said that you have to have something that's uh, biometrics, right? That's inserted in your skin, right? Karagma, alluding to Revelation 13 and 16. Okay. Then what are you going to do? Those riches that you have are not going to profit you, but you believe in is going to profit you. Okay. This is again Proverbs 11:4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. So the righteousness that you have, the integrity that you have, that's what's going to lead to life. Okay. All right. Second Ezra 7 and second Ezra 7:42. He answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak. That's right. He said, this world right here, you're not gonna ball out. You're not gonna be that guy. You could forget about it. It's over. Okay. Right? This place is done. It's over, man. What should you be worried about? All of us, right? Pleasing Yahweh by Shemashah, right? But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, right? So this place has to end in order for forever to begin, man. Right? That's the play, making it to forever. That's the fight right there, man. Sometimes you be like, man, let's just wrap it up. Come on, Lord, let's just get this over with, man. Let's just get this over with. You get tired of being on this fucking place, in this fucking place. You know, you really do. There's nothing left in here. But it's a blessing to even have that understanding. It's a blessing. That understanding, that what's the word? Um, Understanding and hope for a better world in its entirety, man, is a blessing to. It's a blessing to you understand. You know what I'm saying? And to be in that spirit, because a lot of people they've taken this truth, as an opportunity to uplift themselves. Nate, this guy, man, making short films and stuff like that. The apostles, man, they're the exact opposite because they're pushing Yahweh Shah. The men are pushing Yahweh Shah. And they're pushing Yahweh Shah because they have understanding about Yahweh Shah and truly feel Yahweh Shah, right? Because they know what's about to come, prophecy. But when you start tripping and bringing money into an opportunity into the equation, that's when you start tripping, man. So, and that's what's going on with Nate. It's really simple. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's really simple. It says, verse 42. He answered me and said, "This present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore hath they prayed for the weak, but the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past, right? Intemperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up, right? That's the glory right there, right? Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that hath gotten the victory, right? Are people going to be put back on top, right? Are people going to be put back on top? That's what it's really all about right there. You know, being able to breathe, being around these people, you know, and constantly having to make them feel comfortable, man, is exhausting. That just shows you we're not in our rulership, man. In our rulership, people are gonna be bound down to us, right? These heathens, you know. That's what it's about. Rulership. And you want to feel that as a man. You want to feel shit like a king, right? But you can't take this truth, and mix and mingle it, um, so that you can convince the people to give you money so you can ball. Nah, you're not supposed to do that, bro. You're changing the doctrine. You're putting people in danger. This is what this guy Nate is doing, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's doing. You know, and he's gonna get judged for that. And a lot of you guys that are following after that guy Nate, you're gonna be destroyed right along with him. Being warned too many times, but you're gonna have to find out the hard way, Israel. So hey, more power to you. Now this is a proverb 24 and 21. My son, fear thou Yahweh and the king, and meddle not with them that are given to change, for the calamity shall rise suddenly. And who knoweth the ruin of them both? Right? So you're not supposed to deal with somebody who's giving you change. And Nate has changed the doctrine of so much because he's trying to attract more money. He's getting more and more clever with his bullshit, man. But the Most High knows how to stop it. The Most High know how to shut you down, man. And that's what's gonna happen to me. I'll get shut down. All right. So that's the end of that. Pray was edifying for you guys. Giving our praise to my Heavenly Father. His name is Yahweh by Shem, Yahweh Shah by Shem Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well. Peace and many salutations to Yakim that's toiling in his truth. Shalom.